Hi, welcome to Spirit of Celtic, the sacred art of Courtney. Yours truly. So I am planning to release this video on my 76th birthday. Well, it's pretty hard getting around that realisation. I thought this was a good time to share with you the story of how I began creating Celtic art. I've talked about my Merlin connections in earlier videos, but I haven't really shared how the art began. My father died in 1976 and I spent time looking after my mother as she went through a bereavement. In those quiet times I started to draw, mainly through boredom, and was surprised that I began creating some very dark pencil artwork that were sadly not very satisfying artistically. I've never been one to visit art exhibitions, but for some reason on this one day I felt drawn to attend an exhibition of pen and ink in the pointillism style. It was a total revelation and the style quickly triggered my imagination. I was lucky to have a selection of art and drawing office supplies nearby, and these kindly guided me to the right pens and art materials to use. Amazingly, my first two attempts, God Appears and God is Light, and The English Child, were very pleasing, and I could really sense the huge potential that this art style could be developed further in any future work. And some of those images took on a coloured version after a few years. Shortly after turning to pen and ink drawings, I discovered a book in an art shop. It was a book of Celtic designs by George Bain, and this pattern work seemed perfect to border my new art. Little did I know at the time how important that purchase was going to be for my future. In the beginning, I mostly relied heavily on the book's illustrations as I come to grips with the complexities of the art form. I found that tracer paper was the perfect medium for me to build up the art. This also meant that I could quickly discard the tedious time of measuring out the pattern work that I found confusing, as I'm not great with numbers, and I found it too confusing and slowed my creative flow. This was to get even more interesting when the Merlin magic became involved. At this time I moved from London to Wisbech in Cambridgeshire and began painting old furniture that I would sell in a gallery in the King's Road in Chelsea. In between the art, I supplemented my artistic lifestyle by carrot topping and apple picking. In 1983 I moved from Cambridgeshire to Reading in Berkshire and worked as a sign writer and screen printer. Even though my Celtic abilities were still at an early stage, I was offered an exhibition space at the first Festival of Mind, Body and Spirit in London, and within one day I was offered a commission to create a portrait of Merlin, and my only brief was to go out from one night and look at the plough in the sky and ask Merlin for help. So when I asked Merlin for guidance for the commission work, a shooting star passed across the star formation, and when I returned to the studio, little blue lights started to flash across the drawing board. My Merlin apprenticeship was about to start. So I met Peter Quiller, who the commission was for, and from this encounter we collaborated together on Merlin Immortal that I self-published in 1984 as Spirit of Celtic. So I've added links to earlier videos that go into much more depth regarding my Merlin encounter and how it changed the way that I worked on the art and took over my life. The exhibition in London also attracted my art to a couple of publishers, and I completed a series of pen and ink drawings for Pathways Through the Labyrinth by Marion Green for Element Books. So this oddly coincided with a move to Saffron Walden, Essex, that's famous for its ancient turf maze, and that's inspired me to open the Sacred Dance Gallery to exhibit my work. As I was beginning to bring much more colour into my art, I published a small booklet called The Sacred Art of Courtney Davis in 1984. I felt very settled in Saffron Walden, though that was very short-lived, as I will move again within the year, but that's another story. I've constantly moved through all the years, and in fact it mostly seemed at the point where my toothpaste ran out. So to be here on Tara for over 8 years has been a big surprise. So surviving 76 years, 4 wives and creating 53 books, I feel like I've lived through a series of different lives. I enjoy creating these videos and sharing my story with you. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and bring a smile to this aging scribe. As always, may your lights shine.